Hey Virgo, come close for a second. Listen, what I'm about to share with you needs to stay between us for now, and you'll understand why as we go deeper. There's money coming toward you that's significant, that's life changing, that's going to shift your entire financial reality. But the way it's coming requires you to move differently than you usually do, requires discretion, requires you to let it build in silence before you announce it to the world. So get comfortable because we're about to talk about wealth that's forming in the quiet and why keeping your mouth shut might be the smartest financial decision you make this year. Let's begin. A substantial amount of money is organizing itself around you right now. And the energy I'm seeing isn't lottery luck or random windfall. This is money you're going to earn through alignment, through opportunity, through finally being in right place, doing right thing at right time with right people. But here's what's critical. This money is building in silence and it needs to stay silent until it's secured. The keep quiet instruction isn't superstition, it's strategy. When you tell people about money before it's actually in your account, before contracts are signed, before deals are finalized, you introduce energy that can destabilize what's forming. Not because people curse you or because universe punishes you for speaking too soon, but because premature announcement creates pressure and expectation that can make you move differently than you should. Let me describe what enormous sum actually means in practical terms. This isn't $20. This isn't even a few hundred. This is money that changes your baseline, that eliminates certain stresses you've been carrying, that creates options you haven't had. That allows you to make choices based on what you want instead of just what you can afford. For some of you, enormous means five figures appearing where there was scarcity before. For others, it means six figures that shift everything about how you operate professionally. For others still, it means multiple income streams converging simultaneously to create total that exceeds anything you've generated in single month before. The specific number matters less than the impact. This money is going to feel enormous relative to your current financial reality. It's going to exceed what you've been operating with. It's going to require you to expand your capacity to hold, manage, and make decisions about resources at scale you haven't practiced yet. Some people sabotage money before it arrives by staying in scarcity mindset even as abundance approaches. They can't receive large amounts because their internal capacity is still set to small amounts. They get the opportunity for big money, but they think small, negotiate small, act small, and end up with fraction of what was actually available. You're being prepared right now to receive at larger scale. Your internal money thermostat is being adjusted. Your beliefs about what's possible for you financially are being upgraded. Your sense of what you're worth and what you can command is expanding. But that expansion requires you to practice before the money arrives. You have to start thinking like someone who handles significant money before you're actually handling it. You have to start making decisions like someone who has resources before the resources are visible in your bank account. Let's pause here. This reflection invites you to consider if you knew significant money was coming in the next few weeks, how would you be moving differently right now? Maybe you'd stop accepting opportunities that pay less than your worth. Maybe you'd start having conversations you've been avoiding about raises, rates, or renegotiating terms. Maybe you'd invest in yourself differently, hiring help, buying tools, taking courses because you'd know the return was coming. Or maybe you'd carry yourself differently. Stop apologizing for your prices. Stop offering discounts before people even ask. Stop performing gratitude for being chosen when you should be evaluating whether the opportunity is actually worth your time and energy. The money that's coming requires you to operate from worth before you have external validation of that worth. Requires you to value yourself at the level the money will validate, not wait for the money to arrive before you believe you're valuable. This reflection invites you to consider what would change about how you value yourself if your bank account reflected your actual worth instead of your current circumstances. There's something specific about why you must keep quiet until this money is secured. When you announce opportunities before they're finalized, you activate other people's opinions, fears, doubts, and projections. And those energies, however well intentioned, can influence your decisions in ways that sabotage the deal. Your mother might say, "That sounds too good to be true, be careful." Your friend might say, "Are you sure you're qualified for that?" Your partner might say, "What if it doesn't work out?" And suddenly you're negotiating from fear instead of confidence. You're second guessing instincts that were clear before you introduced external voices. You're making decisions to manage other people's anxiety instead of following your own knowing. Some people aren't consciously trying to sabotage you, but their own limitations become limitations they project onto you. They can't imagine the opportunity you're describing because it's outside their experience, so they question whether it's real. They can't see you at that level because they haven't adjusted their perception of you yet, so they subtly undermine your confidence in claiming it. And here's what happens when you take their doubt into the negotiation or the opportunity, you shrink. You ask for less than you were going to ask for. You accept terms you were going to push back on. You perform gratitude when you should be evaluating fit. You make yourself smaller to fit their limited vision of what's possible for you. But if you keep it quiet until it's done, until the contract is signed, the money is transferred, the deal is locked, then you're making decisions from your clarity, not from crowd-sourced fear. You're negotiating from confidence instead of from needing to prove to others that you deserve this. You're moving from internal knowing instead of external validation. The other reason silence matters is practical. Some deals fall through. Some opportunities don't materialize exactly as they appeared initially. And if you've already announced it to everyone, you now have to deal with their reactions to it not working out, which adds emotional weight to something that might just need quiet adjustment rather than dramatic narrative. If you keep it quiet and it doesn't work out, you adjust privately and keep moving. If you've announced it and it doesn't work out, you now have to manage everyone else's disappointment, their "I told you so" energy, their concern about whether you're okay, their need to process what happened through lens of their own fears about taking risks. This reflection invites you to consider, who in your life do you tell things to who consistently makes you doubt yourself afterward? Let me describe what this money might actually be connected to. It could be professional advancement, promotion, new position, contract that pays significantly more than what you've been earning. Not because you suddenly became more qualified, but because you're finally being seen by people who have resources to match your value. You might have been working at same level for years, but being paid as if you're entry level because the people around you didn't recognize what you were actually providing. And now you're either being discovered by people who do recognize it, or the people who've been underpaying you are about to lose you and are suddenly willing to pay properly to keep you. Or it could be entrepreneurial, your business, your side project, your creative work finally reaching critical mass where income jumps from supplemental to substantial, not through single client or sale, but through momentum you've been building, finally converting into revenue that matches the effort you've been putting in. You've been planting seeds for months or years, and harvest season is arriving. Multiple things you started are maturing simultaneously. Several income streams you developed are all flowing at once. The compound effect of consistent action is finally becoming visible in your bank account. Or it could be opportunity based. Someone connecting you to something, someone recommending you for position or project or collaboration that pays significantly above what you typically command. Someone seeing your work and wanting to invest, partner, hire, acquire. This type of money often comes through relationships, not because you were networking strategically, but because you were doing good work and someone noticed, because you were being yourself authentically and someone resonated because you were putting value into the world and value is coming back through unexpected channels. Or it could be settlement, inheritance, or other forms of money that arrive through legal or family channels. Not morbid or tragic necessarily. Sometimes it's just resolution of something that's been pending, or family member choosing to transfer resources while they're alive instead of waiting. This type of money can carry emotional complexity because it's tied to people or situations, but the resources themselves are neutral. They're tools you can use to create life you want, regardless of how they arrived. This reflection invites you to consider if money arrived from unexpected source, could you receive it without guilt or complicated stories about deserving? There's something about timing and March 2026 specifically. March represents movement after winter dormancy, things that have been developing under surface becoming visible, energy that's been building in quiet suddenly expressing outwardly. It's activation month, where what's been preparing finally launches. For you, March might be when the opportunity presents itself, when the offer comes through, when the contract gets proposed. Or March might be when you make the move that leads to the money, when you have the conversation, make the ask, take the leap that creates the conditions for financial shift. Either way, March is significant window. Not the only window money is flowing toward you regardless, but concentrated period where multiple factors align to create opening that's particularly potent if you're positioned to take advantage of it. Some people miss their windows because they're not paying attention. They're so focused on current circumstances that they don't notice when doorway opens. Or they see the door but they hesitate, wanting to think about it, and by the time they decide to walk through it, it's closed or someone else has walked through it instead. When your window opens in March, or whenever it opens for you, you need to be ready to move quickly, not recklessly, but decisively, not desperately, but confidently. You need to say yes without needing to understand every detail. You need to step through without requiring guarantee of outcome. This reflection invites you to consider what preparation can you do now that would make you ready to say yes quickly when opportunity appears. Let me address what you need to do to receive and keep this money. First, raise your financial thermostat before the money arrives. Start imagining yourself with access to this level of resources. What would you do differently? How would you carry yourself? What decisions would you make? Start practicing those behaviors now at your current level. So when money arrives, you're already operating at frequency that can hold it. People who suddenly receive large amounts of money often lose it quickly if their internal set point is still calibrated to scarcity. They make panic decisions, give it away to avoid guilt, spend it impulsively to prove they have it, or invest it poorly because they don't have relationship with managing significant resources. Second, get clear about what this money is for. Not just paying bills, though bills getting handled is wonderful, but what life this money enables, what freedom it creates, what choices it allows. What version of your existence becomes possible when financial stress isn't consuming all your mental energy? Money without purpose tends to dissipate. Money with clear intention tends to multiply. Decide now what this money means for you beyond just numbers in a count. Third, practice receiving without apology. When someone wants to pay you well, let them. When opportunity shows up that pays above your usual rate, don't talk them down. When someone offers help or gift or investment, don't deflect it with false modesty. Your ability to receive this large sum is directly related to your ability to receive small things now. If you can't accept compliment without deflecting, you probably can't accept large payment without feeling guilty. Practice receiving at every scale. So when big receiving opportunity comes, your system knows how to say yes fully. Fourth, find financial mentor or advisor before you need one. Someone who operates at level you're growing into. Someone who can help you make smart decisions about money you're not used to having. Someone who won't be impressed by your amount because they handle amounts larger so they can guide you from experienced perspective rather than from your same level of inexperience. Rich people have advisors. Middle class people think they should figure everything out themselves. If you want to become and stay wealthy, you need to learn from people who know how to build and maintain wealth, not from people who are struggling same as you. Fifth, keep your mouth shut until money is locked. I can't emphasize this enough. Until contract is signed, money is transferred, deal is completely finalized, beyond any possibility of falling through, don't announce it, don't celebrate publicly, don't start spending it in your mind, don't make plans based on having it. Contain your excitement in private. Let it be real before you make it public. Protect what's forming by keeping it protected until it's solid enough to withstand other people's energy. This reflection invites you to consider, can you hold good news in silence long enough to let it become secure before you share it? Let me be direct about what happens after money arrives. You'll face choices you haven't faced before. People who haven't needed anything from you suddenly needing things. Opportunities presenting themselves that require investment. Decisions about whether to stay in situations you've been tolerating because you couldn't afford to leave. Some of those choices will be easy, some will be complicated. You'll have to learn to say no to people you care about. You'll have to learn to evaluate opportunities based on alignment instead of just accepting whatever's available. You'll have to learn to make decisions from abundance instead of from scarcity. And people will notice you're moving differently. Some will celebrate, some will be threatened, some will suddenly have opinions about what you should do with your money. Some will make you feel guilty for having resources while they struggle. You'll have to develop boundaries you haven't needed before. You'll have to get comfortable with being person who has while others don't. You'll have to release guilt about being blessed when not everyone is blessed in same ways at same time. Money doesn't solve all problems. It just trades some problems for different ones. But the problems that come with having resources are infinitely preferable to problems that come with scarcity. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to make you feel better about not having money, which isn't actually kindness, it's just shared misery. You remain in complete control of how you prepare for and receive this money. You can stay in scarcity thinking or expand into abundance thinking. You can keep quiet or announce prematurely. You can receive fully or sabotage through unworthiness. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has activated both excitement and fear. Excitement about possibility of financial freedom. Fear about whether it's real, whether you can handle it, whether you'll mess it up somehow. Whatever you're feeling, honor it. Take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Before we close, I want to ask you something. If you received large sum of money tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd do with it, and would that choice serve your long-term wealth or just relieve immediate pressure? Drop it in the comments. And this, can you keep good financial news to yourself until it's completely secured, or do you need to tell people immediately? This enormous sum of money will be yours, but you must keep quiet. And the keeping quiet isn't punishment or test, it's protection of what's forming, preservation of energy that needs to stay focused until manifestation is complete, strategic silence that allows you to move from clarity instead of from crowdsourced doubt. March 2026 is window, is concentrated period of possibility, is time when what's been building can break through if you're positioned correctly. Not eventually, soon, within weeks. Trust yourself with this trust that you're worthy of significant money without needing to justify why. Trust that you can handle wealth without it corrupting you. Trust that receiving abundantly doesn't make you greedy. Trust that keeping quiet until it's secure is wisdom, not secrecy. See you in the next one. And listen, when money shows up, don't shrink from it. Don't apologize for it. Don't immediately give it away to prove you're still a good person. Just receive it, manage it wisely, and let it create life you've been wanting. Stay quiet, stay ready, stay worthy. Your money is organizing itself. Let it land. Take care.